And now, News 4's Weather Extra.
Welcome into Weather Extra on this Monday evening. Meteorologist Ryan Duggar along my side. Are you a fan of roller coasters?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I wasn't as a kid, but as I grew up, you could not get me off of them. They were fantastic.
Well, hey, we're on a roller coaster right now.
Yeah.
This year's been kind of up and down and up and down. We were so cold there in January. This month has been so warm.
So warm. I've been breaking out the shorts, and then 3 weeks ago, I was in the heaviest jacket imaginable. Yeah, it's been crazy.
You might need that jacket again next week. Check out some of the warm stats for this month with meteorologist Zach Webster.
After much of our January was far below normal, we've kind of flipped the script to start off the month of February with lots of these temperatures well above normal for this time of year. The start of the month of February, at least for those low temperatures, we started out fairly close to normal. Then we hit February 4th, and those temperatures have been a pretty good ways above normal since then. We do have to note the low temperature for the 8th and the 9th. Both had to be estimated using some nearby observations. We had to do the same thing with some of those high temperatures as well for the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th as well. A lot of our high temperatures have been a pretty good ways above normal for this time of year, especially once we got to about the 4th, and you see those temperatures in the upper 70s, even some lower 80s on the 8th and the 9th. The average high temperature so far this month, 77.4 degrees. That's almost 14 degrees warmer than that normal average high temperature. We're seeing similar differences with those average low temperatures and the combined average high and low temperature as well.
Unreal. About 13, 14 degrees above normal this month. Last month, we were below normal by 7 or 8 degrees.
This is what I've been saying before, too. I've noticed this with weather patterns. Sometimes the atmosphere likes to overcorrect itself. So it's trying to find that balance after such intense cold last month.
It was so cold last month. So let's talk phenology. All right, a look here at the U.S., the southern part of the U.S., the phenology refers to the greening up of the landscape and how the current plant life compares to normal. So the spring leaf index anomaly here, if you look across the wiregrass, we're generally running about 7 to 10 days behind schedule. Because of that cold in January, there's kind of a later green up of the landscape out there so far.
Yeah, so you could kind of think of it as like when you're putting meat in the freezer. It kind of put those plants on freeze until they were thawed out, basically, right?
Yeah, we're starting to thaw out for sure, and everything's starting to come to life. That will be accelerating, at least in the short term, with that warm air. But there's a change happening to the north of us. So here's a look at the projected snowfall between now and midday on Thursday, and we're seeing that snowpack being laid again from Colorado through the Central Plains states, even parts of Oklahoma to Missouri to Kentucky. Northward, we'll see some snow. And Ryan, you know what that means when that snow's on the ground?
It lets that cold air make its way farther south.
Yes, you are learning, my friend. We saw that, of course, this winter, and we've actually been talking about that a lot going through the winter months, because that snowpack to the north is key to allow that colder air to move farther southward. So as we go through time here, watch that warm air linger here Wednesday, but that colder air is building to the north. A secondary lobe drops southward going into the weekend, and it's starting to take that up and down look. Yeah, so watch what happens here. It just comes blasting into our area, and by Monday morning, low temperatures, upper 20s to lower 30s. That looks weird to see. We saw a lot of that color, that pink color, back in January, but looks kind of weird there.
Exactly, but I mean, that just goes to show you we're still in winter, and you know what, when we have those divides in temperatures, you know what that means. Severe weather can make its way through.
Yes, severe weather is a topic of concern. As we go through the next week, we'll break that down next.
And now, News 4's Weather Extra.
Welcome back to Weather Extra. Ryan, I forgot the buzzer, the accountability buzzer to start the show, so buzz me because I messed up.
Hey, I got you right there. I said I was going to do it with two hands anytime I could.
You did. I'll remember for tomorrow. All right, we've got some severe weather potential over the next several days. This Thursday system not looking overwhelming for us. We are in that marginal risk from the SPC level 1 of 5. The slight risk area is back to the west of us, and it does look like Louisiana into Mississippi will see the best chance for some severe weather, some gusty winds, maybe an isolated tornado there, but not real impressive for the wiregrass.
Right, exactly. And as you can look at that rain that comes through, you know, the ingredients seem to be more coming together, like you said, for Mississippi, and we can see that through the deterministic models. That line is very defined, but not so much, like you said, for the Wiregrass.
Yeah, the chances there for some gusty winds, but more or less a rain event for Thursday morning at 4 o'clock. As we go through Thursday, pretty quiet. Through Friday, pretty quiet. Over the weekend, though, the atmosphere recharges. I showed you that cold air building over the central part of the U.S. That is Saturday at 6 p.m. Watch that line come on through here early Sunday morning. I don't know why it's always early in the morning. If we could change it, we would change it, because it seems like so many of these are between midnight and 6 a.m., and this one, no exception, Sunday morning. It may be a little more robust Sunday morning with this disturbance.
Right, yeah, and the ingredients kind of look at in place, and I know we got the next graphic to kind of look at, but really the main case is we're always looking at the position of the low-level jet, and you can kind of see right here with that system that comes through early Thursday morning, you know, that main line is kind of a little bit farther to the west of that low-level jet and that tornado parameter, so they're not really matching up. But for Sunday morning, we can see a little bit more of that timing on track for that.
Yeah, that really stands out. That red is a very strong low-level jet Sunday morning at 3. The black lines indicates the model showing where the significant tornado parameter is maximized. So a little more severe potential the way it looks for Sunday morning. We may be lacking the energy in the atmosphere for a widespread severe event. So that's one maybe good piece of information. If you look at where we stand across the country, the average number of tornado watches per year, we get about 10 in the Wiregrass, and Bullseye is west of us. So I would say we're due. We'll keep watching the scenario as we go through this week. That's it. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.